Israel's army is expanding its attacks against Hamas in Gaza, nearly 2 weeks after it resumed fighting, announcing new evacuation orders to include the entire region of Rafah in southern Gaza, its largest such order since Israel broke a 2-month-long ceasefire. It comes as Gazans celebrate one of Islam's holiest holidays. But in Gaza, prayers for Eid al-Fitr are surrounded by rubble. And according to Palestinian health officials, Israeli airstrikes often kill the most vulnerable. The Abu Sultan family, already displaced, were sheltering in their tent when missiles struck over the weekend, killing 8 family members. The children were in their holiday best. Hassan is 4 years old and Habiba, she's 7, said Mona Al-Harani, a relative. They're dressed for Eid. They were martyred while wearing Eid clothes. Last night, Israel's cabinet approved plans to intensify the fight in Gaza. Israel's prime minister said it would increase the crushing of Hamas and create the best conditions for the release of our hostages.
I'm just going to check to see if there's any human remains in here.
As the IDF pushes deeper into southern Gaza, a grim search for the bodies of 15 aid workers were discovered there after they disappeared a week ago.
We arrived at the site where the ambulances were hit. These ambulances have been buried in the sand.
The UN said 8 of them worked for the Palestinian Red Crescent and 1 was a UN staffer. In a statement, the Israeli Defense Forces said the ambulances had been advancing suspiciously toward IDF troops without headlights or emergency signals. Their movement was not coordinated in advance. The statement said the group included 9 operatives for Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad. But the UN says they were simply emergency workers, among more than 1,000 killed since October 7th, 2023.
Health workers should never be a target, and yet we're here today digging up a mass grave of first responders and paramedics. So they were here to save lives. Instead, they ended up in a mass grave.
Yesterday, they were finally buried. A solemn ceremony flanked by other rescue workers whose ranks continue to thin as the war in Gaza drags on.
And Tom, despite how the casualty count in the Gaza Strip continues to rise, believe it or not, there's still some bit of negotiations that are still ongoing to try to release those remaining hostages. According to Reuters, the Israelis submitted a proposal that would see a more than a month-long ceasefire in the Gaza Strip return for the exchange of about half of those remaining living hostages, of whom there are thought to be about 24 of them, and half of the remaining dead hostages, of whom there are thought to be about 35. But despite that, it seems unlikely that Hamas would agree to something that would give away its last leverage for further negotiations. Tom.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.